Okay, I think we can start this. So, good evening to everyone. Kindly give me a confirmation if you guys can hear me. Can you guys give me a confirmation? Kindly give me a confirmation if you guys can hear me. Yes or no? Kindly give me a confirmation if you guys can hear me. Yes or no? Okay, cool. So, welcome to the day one of this bootcamp for the introduction to data science
Okay,
using Python.
cool. So, welcome to the day one of this bootcamp
Is my
for the
voice repeating?
introduction to data science using Python. Cool. So, welcome to the day one of this bootcamp
Is my
for the
voice repeating?
introduction to data science using Python. So, welcome to the day one of this bootcamp
Is my
for the
voice
introduction
okay?
to
There is
data
echo,
science
right?
using Python. So,
Let me see.
welcome to the day one of this bootcamp.
Is my voice
Okay,
okay? There
there
is
is
echo,
echo,
right?
right?
Just give me a confirmation if it's audible. Is it fine now? Just give me a confirmation if it's audible. Is it fine now? Now is it good? Okay. I think now I am audible to everyone and there isn't any echo, right? Okay, perfect, awesome. So welcome everyone. Good evening to everyone and welcome to the boot camp, a new boot camp where we are going to talk about data science and we are going to talk about Python, right? So as we're going to move forward, just give me a confirmation if I'm audible to all of you clearly. Yes or no? Give me a confirmation if I'm audible to all of you clearly. Can you guys hear me clearly? Yes or no? Okay, perfect. So yeah, so you must be attending a lot of boot camp. You must be associated with DevTown, and you must have attended a lot of boot camps, right? Can you guys name some of the boot camp that you have attended in DevTown? In the chat section, can you guys write it down, please? Can you guys write it down in the chat section? What is the latest boot camp that you guys have attended? Anyone? Come on, fast, fast, come on, fast. Okay, we have people saying Python, C++, deep learning. We have HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Awesome. Okay, cool. So before going on, let me tell you that whom this bootcamp is targeting. Okay, because it is very necessary to understand that this particular bootcamp is designed for those people who are absolutely noob in the field of data science and they don't know about Python and all that, right? So as you're going to move forward, don't tell me that we already know Python. Tell us something else. Okay. So this bootcamp, this specific bootcamp, is being created to target those audience who don't know about data science, who don't know about Python. Okay. Is that clear? Okay. And we're going to understand that how exactly we can achieve a lot of things in data science with the help of the Python power, right? Please, and one more thing, let me tell you guys that please, it's a request, kindly don't ask for any kind of certificates and don't ask for any kind of attendance link until and unless the session is ended. Please, it's a request. Okay, focus in the session. Every day the session will be of 1 hour, right? After the session has been concluded, then you can ask for the attendance link and then you can ask for the certificates and all that. Please, in the meantime, it's a request, kindly don't ask any kind of silly questions such as certificates and attendance, because certificates will not going to help you out at anyhow. Even though if you're putting those certificates, if even though if you have an assumption that you will going to put that certificates on your resume, it will going to be no, we have Microsoft certificates and Google Cloud, Google GDE certificate will going to act some impact. It won't. Let me tell you this frankly, unless and until you have a desired skill. If you don't have a skill, your certificate is absolutely waste. Okay, your certificate is absolutely waste. Don't run behind the certificate, run behind the skills, because in the upcoming time it will be your skills that will going to help you out in achieving great. So it's a request, please don't ask any type of silly questions such as what is the attendance, what is this, and so on and so forth, right? We're only going to talk about the thing that is related with data science and Python and revolving around the tech industry, right? If you're interested, kindly please watch. If you're not interested, you can leave, let others learn and understand something, right? Okay, perfect. So we are going to start with Python and we are going to start with the basic. As I've already told you that this desired bootcamp has been dedicatedly for those people who doesn't know about Python, who doesn't know about data science. So that's why we are going to start from the scratch. Okay, we are going to learn about Python. We are going to learn different sectors in Python, why Python is important, and so on and so forth. Right? If you still want to bear with us, you are most welcome to do so. Okay. So let me tell you about the curriculum, that how exactly we have designed this bootcamp and what we are going to learn and what we are going to teach you in the upcoming time. Right. So this bootcamp is of 7 days. Right. This bootcamp is of 7 days. We have day one, that will be your introduction. Okay. We are going to talk about data science. What are data science? Why you need data science, and how exactly you can jump into the field of data science, right? From day two, we are going to start with the Python. Okay, we are going to start. Let me write over here. Introduction to DS. DS over here is data science, and also we are going to talk about how Python can help you out in achieving different sectors of data sciences, right? Now, on day two, we are going to start with the Python. We are going to start with Python, the introduction of Python, where Python came from, what is programming language, and why only we have to choose Python only. Why we can't know if you want to dive into the field of data science, why can't we use Java, why can't we use C, C++, and other languages, why preferably most of them use Python. We are going to talk about that, right? Then after that, we are going to learn different concepts in Python, right? So in day three, we are aligned with the concepts of Python. These concepts stands for the variables. What are the variables? What are the datas? And how exactly data has been stored in a variable? What are the different data types that you have in the market, right? And some advanced concepts as well, right? These are the very basic concepts that we are going to conclude in day three. In day four, we are going to talk about the conditional statements. Not conditional statement, we are going to talk about the data structures. We are going to talk about the Python data structure. Okay, let me do this, right? In the day fifth, we are going to talk about the conditional statements, right? And we are going to talk about the loops. This is very, very, very important, right? In the day 6, we are going to talk about functions. Okay. And on day 7, day 7th is your project day, right? If you are already associated with DevTown, and you are watching a lot of videos, and you must be watching a lot of boot camps of DevTown, then you know that at the end of the boot camp you have to submit a project in order to gain a certificate, right? So whatsoever learning we are going to do in this 6 days, right, you guys need to make sure that you understand that very well, because at the end, if you want to have the certificate, if you want to get the certificate that has been given by, that has a Microsoft certification and the GDG certification, if you want to get that, then you have to complete the project. I will be telling you what exactly is the project. It will be an interesting project, by the way. Based on all the learning, you have to complete the project, and you will be getting that particular certificate, right? We are not going to cover anything else in because there are a lot of things that we can cover, but since we are consuming a very shorter period of time, that is for 1 hour every day, right? So we obviously we cannot cover different aspects of data analysis, machine learning, and all that. We have a separate boot camps for that, right? That's why we have a part boot camps for that. Okay. So this is the motive, and this is what we are going to achieve in this entire session. I hope this is clear to everyone. Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Okay. Over here, we are going to understand about Python with related to the data science. Okay. So that's why it's the intro to data science using Python. Okay. We are going to introduce Python to you, how exactly Python is being done, and what exactly this Python. That's why I have already told you in the beginning that this bootcamp is been designed for those people who doesn't know exactly about data science. Okay, who doesn't know about data science, who doesn't know about Python. Okay, this is for absolutely noob and absolutely beginners. We have a lot of other boot camps lined up. If you want to understand about machine learning, you can check out those boot camps. If you want to learn about data analysis, you want to learn about deep learning or different other sectors, we already have those boot camps in our store. You can go out and check that out. Okay. Okay, perfect. So let's start with our today's session, that is your introduction to data science. We are going to understand what exactly is this term data science, right? Uh, Let me do this one. I hope this is visible to everyone. Okay. Now, this term, if we look back approximately 5 years or 6 years down the line, right? We have seen that this term has got a lot of popularity, right? Everywhere we go, people are talking about AI, people are talking about machine learning, people are talking about data science, right? But what exactly is this data science? We don't know about that, right? Is this a field of science? What happened in this field? And do we need programming? Who can jump into this field, and so on and so forth, right? So we're going to talk about this field, right? So as the name suggests, data, right? This is very important. This is very, very, very important in the field of data science, right? If you don't have data, you cannot proceed with the data science. Okay, data is the foundation of data science. Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Okay, data is the foundation in term of data science, right? But now, why exactly and how exactly this data science term has been getting so popular, right? Let's go back to approximately 2 decades back, right? Let's say uh in the 2 or 3 decades back, let's say in the year 1990s. Okay. Now what used to happen that in the from the year 1990s, that this is absolutely a revolutionary era that has been talked, right? Because in this era itself, computers and a lot of technologies were getting involved, and they have a lot of advent of these technologies, right? Google was forming, Apple was forming, and different other companies are laying down their foundation. Apple has came up with their personal computers and personal PCs, right, which was absolutely not possible during that time. Amazon working on their setups, and so on and so forth, right? Now, because they know that in the upcoming time, a technology that has been introduced which has totally changed everything. That is known as internet. Okay, that is known as your internet. Okay, now earlier days when we used to have internet, and you must have seen the website that was created during, let's say, 2 decades back, right? It was a very raw website, nothing specific. It was very simple, with a lot of flaws, lot of different works, and you had a very straightforward direction, right? You have to go and you have to surf it off, right? But now what happened, as we are moving, right? As we are moving, let's say this is a graph. Okay, so from here, as soon as the internet has started, right? So now what happened, that all the websites or the applications has started collected the data, right? Because people has, all the businesses and all the firms has understood that this data is the oil. When I say the data is the oil, you can easily understand this oil is very precious to us, right? If you go on and see, uh, let's say, different countries, such as, where we import oils from, right? You can see the oil is very costly, right? Oil is very costly, and those countries who produced oil is very rich in nature, right? So that's why it has been quoted that data is the new oil, right? So with the help of this data, you can do a lot of things, right? Even though a lot of companies are based on the data, right? The company Google, Facebook, and you have your Snapchats, you have YouTubes and all that, they are totally dependent upon data, right? That's why you might have ever wonder that why this company gives you free services, right? You must have seen that if you want to use Google, you can go on and you can search anything without paying a single penny. If you want to see if you want to watch YouTube or any kind of video on YouTube, YouTube give you give you a permission to watch any kind of video at free of cost. You must be using Instagram, you must be using WhatsApp, you must be using Facebook, right? So I believe that everyone must be using WhatsApp. Yes or no? Can I get a cheer for WhatsApp? How many of you uses WhatsApp? Can anyone tell me, please? Tell me in the chat section if you are using WhatsApp. Everyone uses, right? Most of us uses WhatsApp, right? But there's a story in WhatsApp. If you are a frequent user, and if you are a early user in WhatsApp, right, for WhatsApp, you must have noticed that when Facebook has not acquired WhatsApp, then WhatsApp used to have a policy that for 1 year you have to pay, 50 rupees. Anyone remember that? Did anyone remember this? That when Facebook has not acquired WhatsApp, WhatsApp used to have a policy that if you want to use WhatsApp for 1 year, you have to pay 50 rupees. Right? Many of you must have seen that, right? Now you see that as soon as Facebook has acquired WhatsApp, they has completely removed this section. They have provided WhatsApp at free of cost, right? And you know that nowadays WhatsApp is being used, or these kind of application or social media application is being used by plenty of users. Your Twitter is being used by plenty of users. Your Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram is mostly used application, right? But they don't charge you a single penny. So how exactly they make revenue? Because this is very important. Because if they have created an application, they must be put it in a server. The server has been running 24 into 7, and there are a lot of people, there are billions of people who are using WhatsApp, right? So definitely they have to store the data. That's why you can, if you want to check your chat, right? If you are chatting with some kind of your friends, if you want to check and look back to the chat that you had, let's say 1 year back or 2 year back, you can easily serve that and you can do that, right? So Facebook is storing your data at some kind of point, right? So for that they have to pay a lot of amount. So how exactly all these companies are providing our service at free of cost, but still they are generating a lot of revenue? So this is a business logic that you have to understand, and data science helps you to understand the business logic, right? Everything is related with data. Everything is related with data. Now if you go and look to Google, right, and if you go and check the statistics, you will going to find out Google, the most important thing that generates a huge amount of revenue for Google is ads, right? Approximately more than 50% of the revenue that Google generates, right, is based on advertisement. It's not based on their services. It's not based on the services. It is not based on their products they sell, right, such as their mobile phones or the assistants and all that, more than 50% of the revenue from Google has been coming from ads, that is advertisements, right? These ads is being taken from the data that we guys serve. Okay, this is very very important, right? Let me give you an example, a very simple example. Let's say uh, you want to purchase a new SIM card. Okay, you want to purchase a new SIM card, you went to a store, and let's say you have purchased a newly SIM card, absolutely new, and you haven't given, please don't ask for attendance, please, it's a request, please don't ask for attendance unless and until the class is done. Okay, it's a request. Okay, is that clear everyone? Please don't ask about attendance in between. Please, it's a request. Kindly focus on the session. Okay. Okay. So yeah, let's come back to the topic. Let's understand that you have purchased a newly SIM card, right? And you haven't given this SIM card number to anyone, right? After 1 week, if you might have noticed that after 1 week, or let's say even though in 5 days or so on and so forth, you must be getting calls from different companies or different banks and different people that kindly buy some loan from us, kindly do this, kindly apply for this. You must have got that. Yes or no? You must be getting continuously raw messages, and you must be wondering that I haven't shared this. I haven't shared this my newly number with anyone else. Then how come they are able to access me with my number? You must have seen that. Yes or no? You must have seen that, right? So how exactly this happen? We what we do, what as a user, as a consumer, we think that Google is one company. Google is one company, right? Apple is another company. Facebook is another company. They are absolutely competing with each other. And Amazon is another company. They are absolutely competing with each other. But generally, what happens is that each company has been dependent upon each other. Okay, all these companies are dependent upon each other. You must be thinking that why organization doesn't make some kind of phone that can compete with Apple iPhone. You must have thought about that, right? Google can do a lot of better things, but why Google is not competing with Apple? Why Samsung is not competing with Apple? Okay, all of these companies are dependent upon each other, because over here data marketing happens. Over here data marketing happens a lot. As soon as you purchase the SIM from a particular organization, let's say you have purchased a SIM from Airtel, right? Now what happen is Airtel will going to sell your data to the third party people. Let's say this is a third party people, and this is a bank. This is a private bank. This bank, why people are spamming in the group? See, if you are going to spam in the group, we have to block you, please. This is the last warning for everyone. Please, please don't spam in the group. If you have any doubt or any question, kindly, I'm going to address that at the end of the boot camp, right? Kindly bear with me for like 30 to 40 minutes, please. Don't ask silly questions, please. It's a request. Okay, cool. So now what happened is that these companies, right, these company has a tie-up with third company. Let's say this is one company who sells insurance. Okay, this is the company who sells insurance. This company will going to come to Airtel, right, and we're going to tell them, okay, and they will going to tell them that please give us some data, okay, and in instead of this data we are going to give you some amount. Simple as that. Now let's say Airtel has given the data of 100 customers. 100 customers, what is their name, what is their number, and based on their Aadhaar card that has been linked, they can get the address, or sorry, they can get the age of the user and so on and so forth. Based on that, they target people and they call randomly, right? Because their idea is that at least out of 100, at least even 1 to 2 person, even if 1 to 2 people can, even if two people can accept the insurance policy, they will be generating lots of revenue. And this is a scenario that happens in the industry, guys. This is a scenario that happens in the industry, right? Every company, every organization generates the data. That's why if you go and see the stats of the data, it is increasing year by year, day by day, time by time, right? It is absolutely increasing, and this will never going to stop, because if you compare today's era with, let's say, a decade back, you will going to see that there are a lot of applications that has been created today, right? And this number of applications will also going to get created, and it will going to get increase year by year. So that means as the number of application will going to increases, when I say application, that means I'm talking about the web application, mobile applications, your desktop application, and so on and so forth, right? All these applications, as soon as they will going to increase, the number of their application will going to increase, automatically the rate at which the data will be generated will also going to increase. Okay, the rate at which the data is also going to increase. So data science currently is a best option for those who want to switch a career into, who want to go and work on to the revolutionary stuff. The reason being is, currently, if you since the data science is an emerging technology nowadays, currently we have a very less number of people who are working in this domain. Okay, that's why this data science domain is a very hot topic nowadays, right? If we talk about software engineers, right now it's a very common. If you go on, you can search, you can find out that India has a lot of job opportunities for software engineering, right? But if you go 2 decades back, software engineer was a prestigious job, right? If you ask your parents, and they will going to tell you that being a software engineer was used to be a very prestigious job. If you tell them, okay, we are a software engineer, okay, that's really great, right? But now a time, if you see, there are a lot of engineers, there are a lot of software engineers we have in the market. That's why the quality and the importance of the domain has decreased, right? That's why if someone wants to start in the field of data science, it's the right time to do so. The reason being is, first of all, this is an emerging technology, and second is, we don't have many people who are working in this data science field. That means company wants a lot of people who can work with data, and they are willing to pay a lot of amount as well. That's the second thing of this. Is that clear? Is this clear, right? And nowadays, if you want to look at that, how exactly this data will going to, how can I predict that day in the upcoming time as well, the data will also going to increase. You must have heard about this term. I'm sure you must have heard about this term, metaverse. Anyone have heard about this metaverse? Yes or no? Anyone have heard about the metaverse? Okay, so in metaverse, it's absolutely a virtual universe. So now you can imagine how much data will going to generate. Okay, how much data will going to generate in a minute if you are entering towards the metaverse. Now Meta is trying their best to introduce metaverse, so that if we can predict that in the upcoming time people must be carrying their VRs glasses, right? And they will be doing their lot of meetings, jobs, and all the data centric stuff in the metaverse itself. This metaverse will going to generate a hell lot of data. It will going to generate a hell lot of data, right? And if it is generating the data, if it's generating the data, you need someone to process this data out in order to gain some insight, right? And if you're gaining some insight, you need to provide this, or you can either sell that data, you can make some application out of this, and so on and so forth, and this data will going to give you a lot of amount. Okay, the last example to show you what exactly data science and what's the power of data science, you must have heard about the platform known as Netflix. Yes or no? You must have heard about Netflix. Yes or no? Have you guys heard about Netflix? Right? So how exactly Netflix generates data? What we see is, Netflix. If you ask a normal user that, do you think, how do you know how exactly Netflix generates data? They're going to answer you simple stuff that, yeah, Netflix show us some videos and show us some movies and series, right? For that, they will going to ask to pay us some amount, and based on that amount, Netflix generates that revenue and all that. right? But this is not, this is only the one source of income. If you want to be a stable in life, right, you must be having different source of income. You should not be rely on only a single source. That's how the Netflix also does that. What Netflix do is, it generates the revenue from here definitely, but it also generates the revenue from selling the data. But how exactly, I didn't get this, right? You must be thinking that how exactly they sells our data and who purchase that data and what data they sells, right? Let me explain you that the website that you see, right, all the website has a lot of trackers, right? They track every single action that you do on your website, right? On if let's talk about Netflix. Netflix tracks everything, all your data, that how, what kind of movies you are watching, for how long you are watching, at what particular scene you are stopping, at what particular scene you are going on and rewinding off, and see that what is the genre that people are liking the most, what exactly is the genre that the country Indian people love to watch it, right? Which character or which actor do they really want to watch, what kind of movie they really want to watch, who is the target audience, when they are going to watch that movie, what is the suitable time that most of the people watch that particular series or movie, right? All this data has been gathered by Netflix and has been sold to film directors. All this data has been sold to film directors. Those film directors read the data and they understand what exactly people want, what exactly movie they want, how exactly they want to approach, and what are the genre that is getting very famous, what are the topic that people really like to search and really like to watch some content about it. All this data is being shared by Netflix, right? With that, they have a lot of source of income by which they process those data and they sell those data, right? So generally, they take the data, they make sure that data makes some meaning, they try to find out some insight from the data, right? And they sell that data, right? So this is the entire anatomy of the field of data science. Even though you must know about Google Chrome, right? Many of you must be using sometimes you might be using incognito mode. I hope everyone have heard about this incognito mode in all the browsers, mostly in Google Chrome. Yes or no? Yes or no? Everyone must have used incognito mode. Yes or no? Right? And now please don't tell me for what reason you have been using that. Okay, I don't want to know that. Okay, yeah. So you must have used incognito mode, right? But what exactly is the perception? What is the perception that we have related to incognito mode? Why do we use incognito mode? Can anyone tell me in a very single simple language what makes incognito mode different from the normal mode? Anyone? Okay, anyone, come on. Privacy. Privacy, that's the best reason. That this is the thing that we have in our mind, that if you're going to go with incognito mode, we will be getting a privacy, right? And our history will be deleted. That means nobody can track us. But just think that Google, the company Google, where they generates data, where they generates revenue from the data, will they easily going to allow you to not to give their data to them? Just think about that. Obviously not. Obviously not. It's just an intuition in us that if you're going to use the incognito mode, then obviously no one can track us, no one can no provide track us history and so on and so forth. But this is not the case, guys. This is absolutely not the case. What exactly happens in the incognito mode is your history, your action, and everything that you do, your searches and everything is been recorded by Google in the backend. Only the difference is in the incognito mode, those history is not shown to the user. Those searches, those result is not shown to the user. And what user thinks is that okay, I'm all my history has not been tracked and my privacy is safe, nothing has happened, right? So Google doesn't know what I'm surfing and so on and so forth, right? But in the back end, what is happening, that every traces and every action that you take, even though if you see this, if I'm hovering my cursor, right, all of this track is being given to Google. Every action that I take in this website is being send it to Google. Okay, every action over here, right? How much time I'm consuming in Jamboard, which of the feature I am using most, right? what exactly, how much slides am I using, what time am I using, how many time I'm serving my cursor from this place to this place. Every detail and every action is been consumed. Based on that, new products is been created, right? If you see some kind of different product that has been created based on the previous ones, and they introduce themselves, calling as that, okay, this is a new product, this has this feature, and they don't have such feature, right? So all of this thing is based on data. And you must know one thing, that in the field of internet, right, in the domain of internet, there is nothing such as privacy. Okay, there is nothing such as privacy in the term of internet. Okay, if anyone tells you, no, use this, your privacy will go, not going to track, and so on and so forth, there's nothing such like that. Even though if you many of you might have heard about VPNs, virtual private networks, they are also not secure. They are also not secure, because if you see the guidelines that the government has given to VPNs company, they have told them that you have to give, make sure that the data center should be in that desired country, and you have, if we are going to ask you about the data, you have to give the data about that user, right? So how exactly VPN has been presented to us, that nobody can track us, if your IP address will be different, nobody can track us, what data you are surfing, and so on and so forth. But that is not the case. On internet, there is no such thing as privacy. This is the first rule of internet. Okay. Yeah, I think this is something that is related to cybersecurity, but that is also something that you need to know, right? It is absolutely important to know about cybersecurity as well. That's how you will going to understand the difference between data stealing, data collection, and data marketing. Many a time what we think is that this is data stealing. Facebook is stealing our data, right? This company is stealing our data, but we don't know whether it is known as data stealing, or whether it is known as data gathering or data collection. That is also important, guys. You cannot say that this company is stealing our data, or those companies stealing us dot is your data. No, right? There's a huge difference between data stealing and data gathering and data collection. Okay, that is, it's a lot over domain, it's a lot over web. Google knows you better than anyone else. Google knows when you sleep, Facebook knows when you are awake, Facebook know what you do, whom do you chat, Google knows where do you go, what is your current location, WhatsApp knows what is your current location. And even if WhatsApp wants, they can you know easily switch on your phone camera, or they can switch on your phone microphone as well. Okay, let me give you a simple example to show you, right? I know this is something off topic, but this is also important to understand about what exactly is the business model of the company, right? Because if you don't understand about the business model, it is absolutely not worth it in the field of data science, because data science requires a huge knowledge of business, how exactly business works, and how exactly you can grab the data, and you can take that data and you can utilize it and apply it in the business, right? So for an example, let's say you go on to WhatsApp, and let's go to Play Store, right? Let's say this is your WhatsApp messenger, right? Everyone must have used this, everyone has this WhatsApp messenger on their phone, right? You can see the rating, how many downloads, and so on and so forth, right? But what is important over here is, if you see this page, data safety, let's click on this, see details. So you can see the data collected. Can you see this? Data collected. Okay, so over here also, this is something that you need to understand, what is data collection and data gathering and data stealing. Okay, Facebook and all, Google and all that is not stealing your data, they're collecting your data. Okay, next thing, what exactly they collect? Your approximate location. They can collect your approximate location, and this is something that Facebook is not allowing you. This is something that you are allowing Facebook to track you. Okay. Then you can see Facebook knows who are there in your contact as well. Right? Facebook knows your app activity, how many times you open your phone, how many times you close your phone, which app you use. Everything has been noted. Okay. Your app performance, app information and performance, right? Your device and device IDs, and there are a lot of other things. There are a lot of other things that they track. Okay, so this is something that you need to keep in mind, that all this data is being collected, and how exactly you can utilize to grab the information from this data to you know earn revenues or applying this in a business to gain something. That is the domain of data science. That is why data has been given the term as the new oil of the 21st century. I hope this is clear to everyone. Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Perfect. Now we have talked about data science, and this is not only about data science. There are a lot of other things. Okay, but due to the time consumption, we are going to cover this much of data science. But now understand that okay, I know what is data science, and I'm really excited to know about it. But how exactly I can start in the field of data science? Do I need to have a specific degree to start with data science? Right? I know that if I want to be a software engineer, then the perfect degree is BTech in computer science, and that's how I can go into the field of data science, right? But sorry, into the field of software engineering, right? But what exactly is the criteria or curriculum that I have to follow in data science, right? Now, the beauty of data science is that in data science doesn't matter from which field are you and from which domain are you. When I say, I really mean it, right? Even though if you are from fashion domain, even though if you are from, let's say you are a graphic designer, you are let's say a painter, an artist, or a mathematician, a CA, whatsoever. Beauty of data science is that anyone can come and they can be into the field of data science. You don't need a prescribed degree to go into the field of data science. Okay, that's the beauty of data science. But only constraint in the field of data science is that you must know mathematics and you must love mathematics. This is the only constraint, right? Data science says that if you don't know coding, doesn't matter. If you don't have any idea about computers, doesn't matter. If you don't have a computer degree, doesn't matter. You are still welcome in the field of data science, right? But only thing that data science will not going to exempt, or it will not going to tolerate that you know mathematics, right? And when I say mathematics, I'm not talking about addition, subtraction, please. Okay, when I'm talking about mathematics, I'm not talking about adding two numbers, subtracting two numbers, and so on and so forth. Obviously not, right? You must have many of you must have passed schooling, right? Some of you might be in school, some of you might have passed the school, right? You must have wonder, right? I generally have wonder when I used to be in school. Many a time, my maths teacher comes up with a lot of different concepts: a square plus b square, and sine theta, cos theta, and so on and so forth. And I was wondering that where the hell I'm going to use all this concept in my life. Obviously, you all must have you must can relate with me. Yes or no? Can you guys relate with me with this? You must have thought. You must have thought this once in a lifetime that where the hell I'm going to use this? Where I'm going to use the sine theta, probability, statistics, where I'm going to use this quadratic equation, y equals to mx plus c and all that, right? People, let me tell you, data science is the domain where you have to use it. And you won't believe half, not half, but let's say 10% of the mathematics that we should know for data science we have already covered in 10th and 12th. You won't believe that, right? But only the difference was that at during that time there was no one to tell us that all of this thing will be utilized in the field of data science and how exactly you can use this, right? Are you guys getting this, right? So you must be know about maths, and when I say math, I mean different higher advanced concept, that is your statistics. You know about statistics, you need to learn about statistics, you need to understand about the charts, you need to understand what probability plays a very important role. Whole machine learning is dependent upon probability. Okay, whole machine learning is dependent upon probability, right? You know about differential equation, you know about probability, you know about correlation coefficient, you know about hypothesis testing, you know about distributions, and there are a lot of things. The list goes on and on and on. Now again, there might be one question that will going to arise in people that, oh, if I have to go on and start working with math, so that means I like it will going to take me for 5 years and 6 years. I should first learn about maths and then I have to go to data science. So the answer is simply no. Obviously not. The best way to learn something is to only learn that portion that is required. The best way to learn something, it might be technology, it might be some kind of work, is to learn only those portion that is required. Don't try to sit and first come into an assumption that first I'm going to complete this part, then I'm going to move into next. Please don't do that. Okay, please don't do that, right? That's why mathematics is very important. Even if you don't know about mathematics, you make a decision that no, I'll definitely try my best to understand what is mathematics and how I can apply this, then definitely data science field is for you. Okay. And believe me, it doesn't require any hard coding, such as software engineering. Okay, in software engineering is all about coding. It's all about building softwares and all that. You need to know about a programming language, and you need to know about the advanced concept of programming languages, right? But in data science, believe me, programming has been required definitely, but it is not. It is absolutely a basic programming that you can easily relate to. The reason being is data science. If I have to compare the data science field with the software engineering field, so the engineering field is approximately 90% it is practical and 10% it is theoretical. Okay. However, when we talk about data science field, it is 90% theoretical and 10% practical. 10% practical. See, this is the difference. This is the difference between SDE and DSA, because in data science you have to do a lot of research. You have to pay around. You have to play around with all the different values and variables so that you can achieve the best ever possible output for your models, right? Because practical implementation is very easy, but theoretical implementation is something that will going to consume a lot of time for you guys. Okay. Okay. Now, the first thing in the field of data science, the first thing in the field of data science, the way how exactly you are going to enter, right, is your programming language. Okay, is your programming language. Okay, if you want to enter into some countries, let's say I want to go and start working in Germany. Okay, the first criteria, it will going to tell me that you must know the native language. The native language is German, right? If I want to survive in Germany, if I want to survive in Japan, if I want to survive in any of the countries, I first have to fulfill the criteria, right? So the first criteria in the field of data science is that you need to know at least one programming language. At least one programming language. Okay. Without programming language, you cannot go in the field of data science for sure, right? The reason being I'm telling you about programming language is the power of programming language is that you can not only limit that particular programming language for doing only one or two tasks. However, you can expand it and you can even create softwares based on those datas. Okay, you can create products based on those datas, right? So that's how you need a programming language. Okay, and programming language is must. Programming language is absolutely must in the field of data science, right? Now we talk about that. Okay, now I know that we have to learn about programming language. That's really great. But in the market, if I see, there are a lot of programming language. They have C, they have C++, they have Java, they have Python. Currently, they have Julia, they have Rust, then they have Go, and there are a lot of them, right? They are Ruby, right? Then I'm absolutely confused that which of them I should go with, right? Should I go with C and C++, Java, Python, Julia, so on and so forth? Now, you must have seen that wherever someone talks about data science, right? Very frequently, very frequently, they always use the term Python, or there always be the term Python that has been associated with data science. You must have seen that, right? Whenever someone talks about machine learning, someone talks about data science, when someone talk about data analysis or deep learning, most of the time people also talk about Python, right? Why Python? Why not Java? Right? Can't I do machine learning with Java? Of course you can do that. You can do You can do machine learning, you can do data analysis with Java as well, you can do this with C++ as well. Since Google has started has came with Go, they're working on Go, they're working and developing, and they try to develop a lot of libraries so that you can start working with Go in the field of data science. Similarly, Rust, that has been given by Facebook, they are also working on that. But why Python is so famous? Why Python is so famous, right? Yeah, we do have R as well. We do have R as well. The reason being, the Python is so famous, and the Python is being given much of the priority whenever we talk about data sciences, because Python has a set of libraries, huge sets, huge set of libraries, and community support, for the DS domain. Huge set of libraries means that if you want to start working in the field of data science, because Python is not only for data science, right? With the help of Python you can make games, with the help of Python you can make AR/VR, with the help of Python you can automate things, with the help of Python you can make mobile application for both iOS and Android. With the Python you can make website as well, right? So Python is not only for one thing, right? But for data science, Python has a huge set of libraries. The reason being is Python is so easy that if you know English, right, you know Python in a very generic way, right? If you know English, you know Python. That's why most of the people goes with Python as compared to Java and C++, because at a beginner level, right, at a beginner level, learning and starting with Java and C++, you can find a bit tricky. But if you're starting with Python, you will be like that, is this really a programming language? Okay. So, and at the same time, since it is very easy and engaging, most of the people are working and creating the libraries. So now libraries are the set of codes. Okay. Libraries are the set of codes that has been pre-written for you, right? That means, let's say you want to eat, anyone from Delhi, anyone, anyone from New Delhi, and so on and so forth. No one. Okay. The reason being I'm asking you is that Delhi people love this food item, momos. I hope everyone can relate to that, right? And most of people like in hilly areas and also they must be liking that. But Delhi people are damn crazy about this stuff, right? Now, when I talk about this food item, right, most of the time what happen is either you can make your own momos, you can bring all the materials and you can start making them. But at the second time, and this, in the second place, you can go and you can purchase from some restaurant, right? You can go to any kind of restaurant and you can purchase them, right? And mostly people like to purchase all this food item from restaurant as compare to making that at their home. Yes or no? Yeah, I know momos is being sold in Maharashtra, but Delhi people, you cannot beat Delhi people in this. I'm really sorry. I have to go with that, right? Okay. So this is the same thing about libraries. That means libraries are the set of codes that has been already been written for you. Okay, they're already been written for you, so that you don't have to write everything from the scratch. You can go up and you can take the help from the libraries, and you are done with your work. Right. So that's why you have a bunch of libraries for DS domain. If you want to work in the data science domain, you have a lot of library support that Python provides to you, right? At the same time, you have the community support, and this community support is very, 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 very important. This community support is very important. What exactly do you understand about this community support? That means, let's suppose you're working with Python, right? At some point of time you face any error. Let's say you face any error, right? Now you have to solve it, right? You have to find the solution. Community support means that there is a high chance and high probability that this error must have occurred to some other person as well, and they must have provided a solution, so that it will be very easy for you. You can copy the error, paste in the Google, and you will be getting the solution very quickly. This is more likely that you will be getting the solution. That means that if you have a high community support, you will be getting a high end documentation how to solve that particular kind of errors, right? So that's why even though we have R as well, right? Whenever we work in the field of data science, we have Python, we have R, we have Scala, and currently Julia has also joined the system, right? But Python is been preferred over R. Is R, by the way, R is more powerful than Python, let me tell you. R programming language is more powerful than Python, but still people prefer Python due to this reason, community support. Because R is only limited for a limited domain. With the help of R, you can only perform data analytics. With the help of R, you can perform some kind of machine learning. But with the help of Python, you can do a lot of stuff. That's why people take Python in hand, right? And it is very easy to understand data science with the help of Python. That is the reason that why we have chosen introduction to data science with Python, right? So this entire series will going to revolve around to Python. Okay, how Python works, what are the different things that we should know in Python, and so on and so forth, right? Is this clear? Is this clear? Kindly give me a confirmation, guys, if you are getting this and if you have got the entire session what I have told you. Yes or no? Okay, perfect. So yeah, we can wrap this up for today. I think that's a lot of knowledge for today, right? We can start with tomorrow. And again, I'm telling you that this is the session that is being targeting to those audience who are absolutely new or absolutely new in the field of data science and Python, right? Because it might happen that you guys might be asking that, okay, we already know Python, teach us something new, right? So that's why I've already told you in the beginning, this info, this entire session has been targeting to those audience who are absolutely new in the field of data science and machine learning, AI, and whatsoever. Right? We are going to start with Python. Tomorrow we're going to understand about Python. We are going to see why no more about why Python, right? And what you can achieve with the help of Python, and what are the different concepts that you should know, right? That you should know if you want to go ahead in the field of data science, right? And also going to tell you that Python is not only for data science. Python is for data science. It's not only for data science, right? With the help of Python, you can also do the software development as well. Many companies uses Python, such as Instagram. The backend of Instagram is dependent upon Django. Django is the Python framework, right? Facebook uses Python. Google is lot of dependent upon Python, right? YouTube structure is using Django, that is a web framework of Python. So Python, you can find Python everywhere. In the IoT device as well, you will going to find Python. In a lot of other area, Python is creating a lot of aspects, right? So having said that, we can wrap this up for today, I believe. So it's the yeah. So okay. So someone is asking about myself. So my name is Sahil, okay, and I'm a software developer, and not software developer. I'm a software engineer and a lead data science instructor as well. If you want to know a lot about me, right, so you can check this out. Check out my link, right, on LinkedIn. You can follow up, and you can, if you want to connect, you can connect me with me as well, right? Perfect. See, if your screen is not clear, the what you can do is you can upgrade your resolution. Go into the settings of the resolution, right? Upgrade it up, okay, to 720p. Okay, this is something that you need to do at your end. Okay, now guys, it's the time for the question. Kindly let's shoot up all the questions you have in your mind, please. Yeah, one more thing. We don't have attendance for today. Attendance will be going to start from tomorrow. We don't have any attendance for today. Attendance will going to start from tomorrow. Okay, really sorry if I have disappointed you. Really sorry for that. But today we are not going to have any kind of attendance, right? And I believe that today's session was really informative for you guys, right? You have got a lot of things to learn, right? And so on and so forth in the entire series in the upcoming 6 days as well. We are going to talk about the business model. I think that learning about business model is really great, isn't it? Okay, perfect. Okay. Any doubts? Any more doubts? Let me put my LinkedIn again. Perfect. Any more doubts? Please shoot up. Yeah, really sorry for those who are here for attendance. Really sorry, guys. What level of mathematics is needed for data science? See, there's no such thing about levels, right? You have to start from the basic, and based on the requirement you have to go from basic to advanced, right? It's not like that you have to first complete the entire mathematics and then you have to come and start with data science. No, as I've already told you, never ever try to learn the technology entirely. Just go on and pick up only those portion that is required, right? So level depends upon the projects that you are working on. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Okay, anyone else? Doesn't this bootcamp deal with NumPy? No, see, NumPy and Pandas are totally for data analysis, right? So in the upcoming time, if you are going to have a bootcamp for data analysis, we are going to discuss that in that case, right? This session is totally dedicated for Python. Why not using Julia? See, Julia, why we are not using Julia is the reason being is that Julia is a new technology, right? In the upcoming, let's say 2, 4 or 5 years, right? Julia has came out, right? And again, the same thing, Julia doesn't have that much high community supports and libraries, right? But in the meantime, definitely Julia is fighting with Python, and Julia is way more powerful than Python. Okay, and in the upcoming time, if everything went well, Julia will going to take over Python, right? So that's absolutely an exemption, but currently the reason is we don't have that much high community support, and we don't have high number of libraries for Julia. That's why we don't use Julia. A use of R, you can use R for data analysis. It's the best tool. It's more even more powerful than Python for data analysis, definitely. Okay, any more doubts? See, Anaconda and Pandas is absolutely different thing. Pandas is a library where Anaconda is a platform. Okay, Python running in which platform? Are you talking about ID or something? Please specify your question. So is Python is good for data structures or not? See, Python is not good for data structure. The reason being I'm telling you is, see, Python is very easy, right? You can, if you are performing data structure with Python, it will be a piece of cake for you, right? And apparently you have a lot of libraries, so it will going to give you a sensation that why to build the data structure from scratch. So that's why I don't think Python is good for data structure, because it gives you a lot of comfort, and when comfort comes up, people become lazy. That's why go with C and C++ for data structures. Okay, I hope that answers. Okay, ID. The best ID that I can suggest you for Python is you can go with VS Code. VS Code is beautiful, right? And eventually, PyCharm is also good. But only thing is that PyCharm is a bit heavy. If you have a system that can, take the load of PyCharm, then go with PyCharm. Otherwise, VS Code is beautiful, right? But apart from that, in this session, we are going to use Google Colab, that is the cloud platform, right? Cloud notebook that we are going to use to perform all the programmings and all that related to Python. Okay, which is good. So, artificial intelligence or cybersecurity. See, you cannot compare two domain with each other. They both are good at their end, right? They both are definitely best at their end because they are poles apart. Where artificial intelligence focuses on studying the human behavior and ease the human efforts. At the same time, cybersecurity focuses on to protect the data of the user and the maintaining the privacy. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Tomorrow class timing will be same from 7 to 8. Okay, timing will remain with same from 7 to 8. How many days fresher requires to learn Python? See, Python is indeed very easy, but I would say approximately if you are a frequent user, if you're working with Python, it will not going to take you more than 20 to 30 days. Apparently 20 to 30 days. Yeah, it will going to take that. Which language to start with coding? Competitive code. See, Python is not for competitive coding. You can use Python for competitive coding, but it is not that much good for competitive coding because again the same thing. It is more comfortable language, and if you want to broaden your thinking, you can go with C and C++ or Java. Otherwise, there is no restriction that you cannot do competitive coding with Python. Surely you can. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Which link for class not been shared? Sorry, uh, I'm not sure for that. So, can you please tell about the roadmap of data science? See, the roadmap of data science. If you're going to take, another session to tell you about the roadmap, but definitely we're going to try that in the last session. I'm going to surely provide you the roadmap as well. Okay, here's the link. Okay. Can we make projects on Google Collab Notebook? Yes, you can, unless and until that project is related with any kind of softwares, right? You cannot do software development on Google Collab. So if your intention, if your project is all about analysis purpose and machine learning or deep learning purpose, yes, you can go with Google Collab. Anything else? Please teach deep about data science. I would love to teach you about that. However, we don't have that much time. We have only 1 hour to teach and 1 hour to learn each days, and in that time as well, people are asking for attendance and so on and so forth. So I don't think that we can go deeper into the field, but I'll try my best to do so. Okay. Okay. Describe data science. So data science is actually a field of it's actually a field in which you grab the information, sorry, you grab the data and you perform a lot of analysis and process so that you can grab the information or insights from that particular data to for a betterment, or you can say that you to advance it or for some kind of purposely use. Okay. How can we be a data scientist? So that also falls under the roadmap of data science. Okay, we are going to discuss that in the last day. Okay. After C and C++, which language is best? There's one more thing. Don't try to go on like that. Okay, let me learn C, let me learn C++, let me cover all the languages. This is good, but this will not going to help you out at any extent. Pick up a domain and try to work on that. If you want to go into the field of AR, VR, go with C++. If you want to go with the game development, go with C++ and C Sharp. Don't try to jump from one programming language to another. Though it's good to have the exposure, but still you need to focus at one domain at a time. Okay. I've already told you since we don't have that much number of people who are working data science, so package is definitely a lot more higher than you can imagine. Okay. uh, I want to develop application. Which language should I learn? You need to specify what application you meant. Do you meant a web application, desktop application, or a mobile application? Can I go for data science and software development at the same time? Yes, you can. If you have the capacity to do so, you can go with that. But again they both are the pole apart fields, right? Because in data science you need a very less number amount of let's say you need a very less number amount of knowledge of programming language, but you need a lot of understanding about the machine learning algorithms and libraries and so on and so forth. But in software industry you have to focus on the frameworks, so it will going to clash it. If you can manage, then hats off to you, you can go ahead and do that, right? Okay, anything. Give me some new question, guys. Give me some new question that you really feel like this is something that I really want to know about. That can I make project without laptop? Yes, you can do that if you have a mobile phone. Since we are going, that's why we are going to use Google Collab, so that even though you don't have a laptop, you can access that on your mobile phone as well. Okay. AI and data science are absolutely different domain. Okay, don't get confused that AI, machine learning, or data science are same. No, they all are different domain. Okay. Okay, anything else? Come on, guys, tell me. Do we does we do any project? Do you mean that are we going to do any project? Yes, we are going to do a project, a simple project with Python. Okay. Best language for placements, then C++. For placement, if you're targeting, okay, because of whenever you go with on-campus placements, the criteria they have is your DSA, right? So you have to go with C++ for DSA, or you can go with Python as well. Not in sure, but CS and C++ is in demand for placements. Anything else? Anything? C or Python? You need to see, all the languages are good at their own aspects, right? You need to define which domain you want to go with. You cannot compare which is better, C or C++. Sorry, C or C++ or C or Python. You cannot compare it, right? It's totally dependent upon domain. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Okay. We are going to talk about the how what are the skills needed for data science at the end of the session. That means at the end of this boot camp, that is on the day 7. Surely we're going to do that. Okay. Anything else? Anything? See, bootcamp session courses are not something that will going to add value in your resume or in your life. It is totally dependent upon you how you want to shape it up. Okay, no course, no bootcamp can help you out unless and until you want to do so. Okay, if you are dedicated enough, without the boot camp as well, without any course as well, without getting into a high end colleges and university, you can still have a lot of understanding and you can do a lot of things, right? So it's totally depend upon you. What do you want to do with your life and what do you want to do with yourself, right? The main motto of this boot camp is to give you all an exposure about the field of data science, why it is important, and how you can dive into the field of data science. Tomorrow we are going to talk about the different business models. We're also going to talk about different organizations and companies, exactly are their tactics, and how they generate money, how Amazon are generating money using the data science tools and all that. So if you guys are excited for that, we are going to discuss that as well tomorrow. Okay, I think that's all for today, right? So enjoy yourself, enjoy your evening. Let's meet tomorrow. So for the last time, I am putting my LinkedIn profile. If you want to connect with me, you can connect on that, right? Cool then. So thank you all for joining in. Thanks a lot. Let's meet tomorrow at the same time. Till then, good night. Have a great evening. See you all soon. Bye bye. Take care.